Let's talk about undefined centers or open centers in human design. Every center, triangle or square shaped center in your chart that is not colored in is undefined. If you have some gates there hanging, you will call that center undefined. If there are no gates active, you will call that center open, completely open. Now, from my experience so far, one of the most important things to first learn when you start your human design experiment is to figure out your type, strategy, and authority. From these, authority is by far the most important, because when you start making decisions as yourself, when you start making decisions that are correct for you from your inner wisdom and not based on what your mind thinks or what your friends think you should do or whatever, that's when you start aligning to who you are and you meet less resistance. Now that's one aspect. But then, because it's quite tricky to start listening to your inner authority, whatever that may be, emotional, sacral, splenic, heart, self-projected, or maybe there's no inner authority, you're a mental projector and you need to soundboard. It's very, very, very helpful to find out all the ways in which your mind will want to make decisions for yourself. Because the mind will never, ever, ever shut up. And the mind is beautiful and wonderful. It's a wonderful tool for being an outer authority for other people, for research, for sharing your wisdom, for so many things. But the mind is not your decision-making master. And most of the things that go wrong in our lives are because we have allowed our minds to become our authority, our decision-making master, instead of using the mind as a faithful servant to help us do all those wonderful things that we do in our lives. So, how does the mind trick us into listening to it, into making decisions from areas that are not consistent in our design? Is the mind will talk through all the areas where you are undefined, where you are open in your design. So for example, I am a projector with only two centers defined, the root and the solar plex. So my mind has 7 other centers that uses to make me think that I should be doing things in a certain way based on the theme of each of those undefined centers. So especially for someone like me with so much openness in your design, it's crucial to know each of the themes, also called not self themes. I also call them shadows, in order that you can then recognize them, and then you can say, oh, my mind thinks, my mind says, and you do not identify with them anymore. And then you can listen to that, but do not act, do not make a decision.